Hello everybody, welcome to this new video on All About Elvis. Today I am discussing with you a turning point in Elvis's Vegas career. His latest engagement was August-September 1973. And his contract had expired with the Hilton Hotel in Vegas, and he was ready to be done with it. That is obvious in his closing show of the August-September engagement. If you listen to it, you can tell he was done with the Hilton Hotel. He was mad over the firing of his favorite maître, and his name was Mario. But anyway, Elvis was ready to leave. So, when he came back to Vegas in August-September, he started off with a very unique show. He started the show with Big Boss Man, and I think the reason why he did this, I think he is referring to Colonel Parker when he's talking about Big Boss Man, because in Big Boss Man, the main character is talking about, he's talking about, I work all day, one little drink of water, you won't let me have a drink of water. The boss man is very strict. He won't give the main character any freedom. And I think that's how Elvis felt with Colonel Parker. He always wanted to do a European tour, but never could because of Colonel Parker being a Dutch immigrant. He was afraid that he would be arrested if he were to leave America. He may never get to return. Now, I know I have a few new viewers on the channel, so let me explain who Colonel Parker was. Colonel Parker was Elvis's manager. Elvis met him in 1956. Colonel Parker joined Elvis's management team as a special advisor. Elvis's manager, Bob Neal, left his position, and Colonel Tom Parker, took the job as Elvis's manager. Now, Colonel Parker was a scheming, conniving, but at the same time very business smart man. He knew how to make money, and he would do anything to make money. Sometimes when Elvis was at his worst, the Colonel's biggest concern was getting Elvis out on stage. Colonel Parker at times was so bad that he would gamble away millions of dollars at a time in Vegas. But anyway, that's why I believe Big Boss Man was because of Colonel Parker. Also, during this engagement, we have several songs in the opening show that we wouldn't see again the rest of the engagement. We see Proud Mary right after that, which was only played one more time during that engagement. Then we have Down in the Alley, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, and Never Been to Spain. Those three songs were not played again at that engagement. So again, this opening show very unique because of that. Then It's Midnight, a wonderful rendition of It's Midnight. I listened to this show on soundboard and watched footage yesterday. It was a fantastic show, but I'll get to that at the end. It's Midnight was absolutely amazing during this show because I've been an Elvis fan. June will make 1 year, and I never heard It's Midnight until I listened to this opening show yesterday. I'm amazed. It's a great song, and I love Elvis's rendition here in the opening show. Then he did If You're Talking Your Sleep, which was performed at every show of the engagement. Wonderful song. It fits Elvis very well, and I think that was like a message song to Priscilla, that entire engagement. Next on the set list for that show was I'm Leaving. I'm Leaving is a song I've heard a couple of times. I wasn't really crazy about the song until, again, I heard it in the soundboard. Again, I don't know how I've missed so many Elvis songs. Like, I just discovered It's Only Love, and my last video was isolated vocals of that. I just discovered that song. I don't know how I've, in my 1 year of listening to Elvis, I don't know how I've missed this. I have 12 vinyl records, 5 CDs, the live 1969 box set, it's in here somewhere. And I had never heard songs like It's Midnight, I'm Leaving, and It's Only Love. But all 3 of those songs I just named are fantastic. I love them, and I'm Leaving. He puts so much feeling into this version of it. The next song on the set list that night was Let Me Be There. Let Me Be There, the Olivia Newton-John classic. Really good song. Elvis's renditions in 1974 were playful, and Elvis being playful on stage is one of the best things you'll hear, and I love it here at this engagement and on this show in particular. Next was Softly As I Leave You. Wow, that is a fantastic song. It's even better live. There are better renditions of it, but that is definitely a very beautiful rendition. Next was If You Love Me, Let Me Know, which the entire rest of the engagement was the 4th song of every show. In this show, it was the 11th song. Odd placement, really, because for the rest of the time, if Elvis performed it, it was really early in the show. It's a pretty fun rendition. I love to see Elvis's take on those 2 Olivia Newton-John songs, Let Me Be There and If You Love Me, Let Me Know. I think it's fantastic, and I listen to them every time I listen to a concert. I don't skip over them because they're just playful, and it's fun to hear Elvis sing them live. Next was Love Me Tender. This version, actually, I saw him do something I hadn't seen him do in concert in years. On the footage, I was able to see that he actually bends down and kisses the women who want the kisses up the front of the stage. And I was surprised. I hadn't seen him do that in quite a while. So it was actually quite a surprise. Next was Polk Salad Annie. It actually amazed me how much fire he put into that performance, because, by this point, Polk Salad Annie is not really as much of a powerful song as it was in 1970. Any lasting Elvis fan will know that. But this version actually really surprised me. Next, he went through the introductions. Then, Promised Land, a song that he would only perform one more time at this engagement, and it would be the next show. The rendition isn't so great because the guitar and bass, they don't work together well at the start in this live rendition. But considering it was a rarity of this engagement, it was fun to listen to. Next was My Baby Left Me. The only time he would perform it at that engagement, that actually kind of surprised me. Because there were times when it was powerful, and there were times when it was, not as powerful. And I expected it to be a very powerful rendition. Next was Bridge Over Troubled Water. This song, it was like he put more feeling and meaning into it this time because he really felt the song. Just listening to the show, you could feel his emotion in it. And I listened to it yesterday, and that was coming up on 48 years ago. And it still felt, it was like I could feel the emotion he was putting into it. And that's how you know that a singer is great and that they really care about the music they're singing when you can just feel their emotion. And I feel that in this version of Bridge Over Troubled Water. Next, Fever. This was actually quite a surprise for me. I didn't expect it. One, I didn't even expect it in the show. And two, if it was going to be in the show, I didn't expect it this late in the show. I expected it earlier, like the rest of the engagement. The next show, it was number 9 in the show, and then the rest of the engagement, it was the 7th song of every show, but it wasn't played on closing night. It was actually quite interesting. A playful version, like it was in 1974. It wasn't as serious as he had taken it just a year, maybe 2 years before, but it was still fantastic. Next was Hound Dog. This was actually a real surprise. This is Hound Dog right before the end of the show, which is a real surprise. Hound Dog usually came at the middle of the show, or, sometimes the early beginning of the show, but this time it was the penultimate song of the show. It was alright. I mean, it was kind of lackluster. It was okay, but it wasn't great, And then he ended with Can't Help Falling in Love, like always. So now the soundboard. Okay, so the soundboard and the footage video, they cut off in the opening lines of Can't Help Falling in Love. The entire show was fantastic and put all together, considering its rarity, the odd set list, some of the odd songs, and just the wonderful show it was. It's really odd for 1974, and it was an amazing show, and I highly recommend you go and listen to it. Also, the set lists that I'm looking at right now come from a Japanese Elvis fan club, and I'm going to do a couple more videos later on of some great Vegas shows or some great shows in general. And on this website, I'm going to be using the set list. I actually printed off my own copy of the set lists from this engagement just for reference for this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe, but because of COPPA Act, you're not going to be able to comment, so just like and subscribe. And on the about page of my YouTube channel, there is an email. If you send an email to me there, I will thank you, and I'll get back to you immediately. Also, if there's any video in particular you would like to see me do, email me there as well. Also, I'd like to do a shout out for Jaden Messer, Amber Harvey, and Caden Spicer. They're 3 of my best friends, and they've really supported the starting of this channel. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.